Hello, YouTube. Neil with No Plot Blog here, bringing you episode 1 of Evolestria. In this series, we're going to be building a wide and varied world of multiple cultures and eras of history. So the first thing we're going to want to do is set up some sort of base of operations. And I've marked out spawn over here, because eventually I do want to, eventually and periodically, I want to upload this map so that, people can explore the world and see everything that we've built here. And I want to build up something nice at spawn to kind of point people in the right direction. But because of that, we've got a little village here. Let's loot it. Because I'm going to be uploading this map, I kind of want my central base to be a good distance away from the spawn. And main reason being that it's not really supposed to be part of the build. It's, what is that? Unknown dimlet. RF tools. Huh. It's not going to be part of the main build. So I don't really want it to be too close to spawn, or it's going to interfere with... Ooh, that's pretty. Can't steal the little pot things they're hanging on, though. So we're going to try and get a good distance away from spawn. That was tiny, tiny village. Doesn't even have a farm in it. That's more of an outpost than a village. Huh. Well, I guess. Okay. But anyway, so searching for our base point and something, kind of wooded. Ooh, don't want to go that way. And a good distance away from spawn is what we're aiming for. I am running for this build because I want to have access to a lot of the little extras and everything. So I am running the Designtech Modpack. It's a Modpack by Welsknight. It's primarily aesthetic Modpack with a good bit of stuff thrown in there for tech to make gathering resources and what have you easier. I'm running on Feed the Beast, and of course, as always, I've got the link down in the description there to the Feed the Beast launcher. As well, I have the code for this particular mod pack so that when I get these maps uploading, everybody will be able to find it relatively easily. The whole point of this world that I'm building is I want to span across different cultures, different eras of history, and create little cities, towns, villages for each of those eras. And for the base, I'm kind of thinking... Well, my base is going to be kind of rough to start with. I'm not going to put a whole lot into it to begin. As my different cities start coming to... Whoops! Oh, that was dumb. As my different cities start coming to life, then I'm going to focus more on getting my base visually pleasing. But for the time being, I'm going to forego visuals to make it functional. Now, let's see, how far away are we from spawn now? Just about 500 meters. So anywhere between 500 and 1,000 away should be sufficient. Convenience. She died in the volcano. Well, that saves me the trouble of having to find wool once I get to where I'm going to be building my base. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here for a minute and figure out where we're going to be building this base. And I'll come back here in just a bit and we'll get my initial house built up and get us a mine going. And we're back, and I found a place that I think is going to be suitable for my starting base here. It's kind of close to a wooded area, and itself is in an area that's not so heavily wooded that it's going to be difficult to build up in the area and get my factory going and whatnot. And it has this little cave right next to it, which I'm usually not big on caving, but it is a good way to get initial resources before you dig out your main branch mine. And really, branch mining is where I do most of my work. But this has given me a good bit of coal here, and a little bit of iron and copper, which will come in handy to just get an initial pickaxe going for digging out my mine. The tool I'm using here right now is a stone paxel, which is a mechanism tool. It's basically a unitool. You combine your pickaxe, your shovel, and your axe, and get this. And it's convenient, but it does effectively cost 3 times as much to make, because the durability is the same as any one of those tools alone. So it is more expensive, but for getting started and doing some caving and just kind of figuring out where stuff's going to go and what have you, it's an effective tool. Let's take a look at the area that I found here. And this is actually the opposite side of my cave, but right over here is where I'm going to be building up my base. You can see I've got the, I forget what that biome is even called over there, the chanterelle, I believe. But we have the boreal forest over here, which gives us a nice variety of spruce and oak and birch, and I think I even saw some fir trees. Yeah, there's some fir trees over there, so it gives us a good variety of wood to get things going. Yellow autumn, I think that's just an oak tree with special leaves on it. And I'm thinking, I've got another cave over there to explore, but I'm thinking right down here where this cave opens up is where I'm going to put my mine. When I work with Railcraft, I pretty much dig my mine straight down, and then I put an elevator shaft in. Well, I put a ladder in to get up and down at first, but then once I have my coke furnace and some good iron and gold and redstone going, I build an elevator track up and down and basically climb down the track and then ride the elevator cart back up. Although this time I might build a circle. That might look nice. Yeah, I might do it that way, but I'm going to go ahead and explore this cave over here and get some of these trees cut down, and then we'll get going on getting our mine dug out. Okay, so that cave turned out to be less than fruitful. I found a creeper. But I have gotten together enough iron to get an iron pickaxe going here and start digging out my mine. And I have decided that when I get the rails up and going, I'm going to make a circle out of it. So it'll be a cart that basically comes down this way, kind of comes around a little bit, pauses, waits to see if I'm going to get on it, and then comes back around here. And this ladder in the center I'll actually replace with some sort of decorative block once I have that installed. But for the time being, it'll be easier to install the elevator tracks if I have a ladder in the middle, because the elevator, you can use the elevator tracks like a ladder, but they don't connect to ladders. At least the last time I built one of these, it has been a day or two. So there's a possibility that Railcraft has changed and I'm wrong. But the last time I built myself a mine shaft, Railcraft's elevator tracks did not connect with ladders. So basically we're digging down to 11 here. Nothing particularly special. Everybody, I think, has dug out a diamond mine before. And we're going to collect as much of these little guys on the way down as we can. Hopefully come across some more iron. Maybe come across, well actually that right there looks like, no, that's tin. But we will need a lot more than that of tin. My basic goal at this point, ask and thou shalt receive. My basic goal at this point is to get ore doubled, which is just, I'm going to be using mechanism because eventually I want to triple ore production, maybe even, the scale of this project, I may even try to get up to 4-time production. I generally stop at double, but the scope of this series may mean that I need to actually bring it up to quadruple production. So, but for the time being, just work up to double, which is just a few mechanism devices. I'll need a heat generator just to kind of get my first little bit of power going. After that, I'll need to build a metallurgic infuser, which will allow me to build a enrichment chamber, and that will do the actual ore doubling. However, I'm also going to need a crusher so that I can get biofuel going, because I don't want to run heat power generation any longer than I have to. And I'm going to have to get a osmium compressor going, because the other goal for this is to get an atomic disassembler, which is a very useful unitool that operates on electricity, so it never breaks. And also want to get myself a jetpack going, and that's going to involve lots of lead, lots of tin, invar, electrium, all sorts of different ores and materials and minerals. And the main thing we're going to need device-wise for that is we'll need an alloy smeltery and an induction furnace, I believe, are what they're called. Didn't get any iron on that trip. Well, we got enough for another pickaxe here. And main reason we want a jetpack is because I'm going to be doing creative builds, and I just want it to be easier to get around to the top of my buildings and what have you, and it's a matter of personal convenience. And probably with both of those, I'll be doing it in between videos. This right here is really meant to be not really much more than just an introduction to the series and what we're planning on doing here. As we get further into it, then we'll start seeing some interesting builds going. But for today, in today's video, it's just talking about what we're doing while I dig a huge hole in the ground. Just like being a kid again. Only I don't think as a child I ever dug a hole that was 50 meters deep. I'll have to ask my parents and find out. Lead, we'll be needing some lead. Iron. As much iron as I can get my hands on. Iron is one of those ores that, especially when you're running mod packs, you never have enough of it. It seems like every tech pack digs through iron like it's Christmas in July. Is that amber? No. We'll take it. It really doesn't have much purpose to the best of my knowledge. I'm not really sure. I think amber used to be part of thermal expansion. Biomes of plenty. Well, that won't tell me. Biomes Aplenty is just throwing it in because, hey, this used to exist and let's throw it into the biome. I think it used to be part of thermal expansion. I could be wrong on that, and feel free to correct me if I am. But to the best of my knowledge, thermal expansion hasn't actually used it since like 1.6. Ooh, osmium. Osmium is a critical ore for doing anything in mechanism. And it looks like it's getting dark, so, well, not dark enough, obviously. Can't risk because there's monsters nearby. Okay, well, I'm digging into the night then. So I'm going to continue. I'm getting pretty close to 11 here, so I'm going to pause the video here for a minute, dig this hole the rest of the way out, and kind of get the tunnel started for my branch mine, and I'll be right back. Hey, so we're back, and actually, I didn't get a whole lot further digging my hole before I ran across this. Really large cave, right kind of smack dab in the middle of where I was digging out my, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh crap, I hear it. Do we have any weapons? There we go. So she eats something. Don't look at the Enderman. But ran across this big cave, kind of right smack dab in the middle of where I was digging my hole, and just tons of resources in here. Let me get somewhere where I don't have to worry about that baby zombie or Enderman so much. Just kind of found myself a little bit of aluminum there, good bit of osmium, some silver, some tin, ton of iron, and a whole bunch of lead as well. And we're finding some of the Certus quartz, which will come in handy when we start doing our applied energetics, which is going to be a huge convenience as far as building this world goes. And actually, on that topic, do I want to dwell deeper in here? I'm on the risk of making that Enderman really... Ooh, okay, worth running the risk of making that Enderman really angry if it equals gold. So, this mod pack is running Applied Energetics, and Applied Energetics is really great for convenience and storing and crafting items, and it's a really good quality of life mod, except for getting into it. Getting into it, really getting into it, involves these things called press plates. And, oh, there goes my pickaxe. Well, this is iron. I can mine it with my paxel. Oh. I'm not going after that right now. And there goes my paxel anyway, so time to find my ladder. Ooh, don't look at the Enderman. There we go. Let's see if I can sleep if I go above ground. I know there's too many mobs close to the cave there. Getting these press plates basically involves running around the world looking for meteors. And in the center of the meteor is a sky chest, and the sky chest will contain one or more plates, usually not more than 3. And completely random. And there's 4 different plates that you have to collect. And I am a cooler. If it involves a roll of the dice, I will lose. Guaranteed every time. If there's a 50-50 chance of success, I will have to go 10 or more times to succeed at that. So typically, what I do when I'm running AE is I disable it. I don't really want it for anything, and I'm just playing single player, so it's not like I'm cheating anybody by turning it off, so I turn it off. And what generally happens is we get recipes for the press plates when I do that. Unfortunately, and I'm not really sure why, that didn't happen this time. This is actually Evolestria 2.0. Because originally I disabled the meteors, disabled sky chests, all the stuff I normally disable to make certain that I can craft my press plates. And this time it didn't work. And I had a world with no meteors, so I couldn't go around finding the press plates. And while that's an inconvenience, the other inconvenience that we're going to see from not being able to fix that is there's going to be meteors. They're big. They're a huge eyesore. And they're a huge pain to dig up and get rid of. And I guess if I was really adamant about it, I could have created custom recipes and gone that way. But I'm pretty much about as lazy as any human being gets. And that sounded... Oh, you know it. I'm going to do my little happy dance. Diamonds before I even get my diamond mine up and going. Awesome! What are we getting here? 4, 5? 5 diamonds. Fat loot. I'm glad I explored this cave. Ooh, and a dense silver ore. This is great. More osmium. Tell you what, I mean, caving might get me everything I need. It won't. Actually, everything I need will involve a trip to the Nether. Because I'm going to have to make sulfur and all that good stuff. But, so yeah, I mean, this cave is proving really productive. But, so yeah, I don't like the looks of meteors, but maybe I can incorporate that in somehow. Maybe create like a very superstitious type city and center the whole thing around the... Ferris ore. Need that. Center the whole theme of the village around the Great God Rock or something. Cross that bridge when I get there. But it does mean a lot of time spent in between episodes scouring the entire world trying to find as many meteors as I can get my hands on. So, not really looking forward to that. But, is what it is. I mean, with the exception of really just an inconvenience. It's not even... It is a balancing factor, and I understand why it's there. So aside from that minor inconvenience, this is an amazing Modpack. And really has everything I need to do this build the way I want to do it. And recently has everything I need to do this build the way I want to do it, because Welsknight just recently updated to version 2.0, and when I originally had planned to start recording this, I was pretty sure I wanted to use this Modpack. It contained all of the aesthetic mods that I was looking for. The only thing it was lacking was really Mechanism. Mechanism is my tech mod of choice. It's not the most efficient tech mod out there, but it's the one that I like. So the plan was to use his mod pack and add Mechanism in there, but since 2.0, mechanism is now a core part of the Modpack. So when I start uploading these maps, I'm not going to have to say, this is the Packcode, but add this to it as well. You guys will just be able to download the map, put it into your Feed the Beast folder, and explore the world that I'm creating. And I think I'm actually going to be down in this cave for a long time. And we're getting close to that 20-minute mark there, that sweet spot where it's starting to get annoying having to listen to the sound of my voice. So I'm actually going to call things here, finish caving this out in between episodes, get my initial ore production up and going, get my branch mine up and going, probably go ahead and get into the nether there as well. All the standard stuff that you do at the beginning of a world. I'm probably going to go ahead and take care of in between episodes here. So by the time we get to our next episode, hopefully I'll have everything ready to where we can start going out and exploring the world and start figuring out where we want to build our first village. So if you've enjoyed this video, please, hit the subscribe button down there, hit the like button down there. Lets me know I'm doing a good job. It also helps my channel. Down below in the comments, we have a link to the Feed the Beast website, which is where this launcher can be found. We also have the pack code for this launcher down there, which is just Designtech, all one word. We also have a link to the No Plot blog, where, as the name suggests, we talk about anything and everything that's on our mind at the moment. So hopefully, you guys have had some fun watching this. Hopefully you'll join us next week. And as always, keep gaming.